value investors like me typically don't spend too much time thinking about macro stuff, simply because the one thing you learn through investing is that nobody can predict it. Nobody saw COVID coming. Nobody saw the Ukraine war coming, or not many people did. But the one thing you do know is that things are always going to happen. So I think the correct way to invest is to buy companies which are sufficiently solid, have sufficiently solving a sufficiently important problem for their customers that pretty much irrespective of what happens, they're going to do fine, because that's things are going to happen. And actually, I was speaking to Daryl about this in the car yesterday, and he made a great comment, which is, if there was any piece of news that changed your opinion on a company, why would you even be invested in it in the first place? I mean, I thought that was a great way of putting it. One thing, you mentioned inflation and rising interest rates, and one thing that is clear is, interest rates and inflation go up and down. They were very low for far longer than anybody expected, and now they're certainly on the rise. Whether that remains the case, who knows? But you certainly don't want to be caught. Don't want to be caught out if inflation takes off or interest rates take off. And Warren Buffett wrote about inflation in one of his letters many decades ago, and he made the point that the very best type of investment in an inflationary environment is a company which is capital light. So it's a company that doesn't require to reinvest in capital to grow, and which has a lot of pricing power, because then they can just raise prices. Inflation goes up 6%, the price of the product goes up 6%. So it's basically a wash. And if I look at the companies in the portfolio, I think they're all very well set up to do very well in an inflationary environment. I think they also will do well in a non-inflationary environment. So I can be quite agnostic about it. The one thing I would say is, the increase in inflation expectations and interest rates over the last few months has sort of coincided with, really a panic in a lot of sort of the type of company that I think is best suited to prosper in an inflationary environment. If I look at, for example, one of the companies in our portfolio, Wix, it's a subscription business. It provides a service, building websites for small businesses, which they really need. You can't switch off the website just because the prices have gone up 5% or whatever. I think that's a business which will do really, really well in an inflationary environment. And but that's a business. Well, the share price has sort of suffered, presumably because people take a different view to that. But I think that's exactly the type of business you want to own in an inflationary environment. Yeah.